So e4, c6, my favorite opening, the Caro-Kann. He went for the accelerated pan of attack. We go with d5, takes, and he decided to push. I decided to develop my bishop. He develops his knight. I developed, I didn't want to develop my knight and go for the spin and stuff, so I decided to just attack the knight. And he just went back, and I went e6, open up for the bishop. He went here. Now in this position, in the Caro-Kann, when they do this move, mainly your bishop is going to get trapped. But even if you look at it right now, you go here, you go there, he attacks you, you can just slide back. Even if you move, your knight, you can still go here. But I decided to go h5, and I didn't want the pawn to be pushed further. He went here developing his knight, I developed my knight, and he pins me. And here I decided to go rook to c8, because if he takes, I can just take with the rook, and I don't want to, have an accelerated pawn down there. So he went queen to a4. And what I decided to do was just a6. Just take and I take and everything's fine. But what I missed after this, he has knight takes d4. Knight takes d4, attacking the bishop, forcing to double up my pawns, attacking the rook, and when I take, I'm gonna lose both pawns, so this is really not nuts. So in this position, I played the brilliant move, queen takes d4. It's not really much of a, chess.com says it's a brilliant, so it's a brilliant. Queen takes d4. And now I have enough compensation for the queen that I'm giving my opponent. And the compensation is, after he takes my queen, I'm gonna take his bishop with a check. So I've won a knight and a bishop, and now the rook. So I'm up one pawn. Now actually, I'm not only up this much material, because I'm up even more, because the knight cannot move, he's gonna lose the rook, he cannot move anything, literally anything. So he decided to give me a check, I moved away, and now he was supposed to keep checking me. But he played d3, and my idea was, I'm not safe. I know that I have enough pieces against the queen, but it might end up in a draw or a perpetual check or anything. Why? Because the king cannot really escape the checks because of this pawn. So I decided to play knight to e7. The idea behind knight to e7 that my opponent has one check and two checks. So the only piece and only move that actually blocks both of these checks is knight to c6. This is why I went here. I wanted to go there. So he just did, pushes his pawn. I went knight to c6. He attacks my bishop. I go takes. And a lot of you will just slide back, but you're going to be attacked one more time. You're going to go here, and now your rook is not really that active. So I decided just to go rook takes h4. You cannot really take me because you're going to lose your queen. He decided to play king there, king to f3, and I decided to take the pawn. He take, and this is just losing. He cannot move the knight. I went knight takes e4, a5 check. I take the other pawn, and my opponent resigned. He could have drawn the game or do something, but he was supposed to keep giving me checks. But he decided to make some pawn moves, and he lost because of that. But it was losing right from the start because I have more powerful pieces. This piece just controls two pieces, so it's really powerful. Now I'm going to show you the next game. Not the next game. This is the last game that I played. I was rated right now 1790 when I played this guy, but I was rated 1760. So I got 30 points for just playing more than 4 or 5 games. But those games were not really that much interesting. I'm going to show you this game. I played it against a 1923. A really powerful chess player. I went d4, and he went d6, c4, and he go for modern defense, but I did not know that. When I was playing, I thought he was playing some kind of an Indian kind of opening, because mainly when you push these pawns, it's like East Indian or King's Indian stuff. And he decided to fake out of the bishop. I decided to develop my pieces. Everything seems fine here, and he decided to push. Now my idea here, I did not want to push like this and have the worst bishop ever, so I just decided to take the pawn. And here I was thinking either to take the queen and try to pin the knight and do some funky stuff, but I decided to go queen to b3, attacking a weak pawn, while also moving away. I'm going to develop my bishop here, or bishop to e3, attacking his queen, castling. This is what I wanted. I wanted simple chess, not very complicated positions. So he went here defending the pawn by just moving it. I went bishop to e3. Bishop to e3 controlling some squares. Yeah, and only developing the piece, and also opening up for the rook to play rook to d1. He castled. I played rook to d1, attacking the queen. He went there, and I decided to play knight to d5. And my idea of knight to d5, that when he takes, I take. He does a any move, and I play d6, attacking the queen and also attacking the rook. This is what my idea. But after takes, I missed that he can push e4, and now my bishop is bad, very very bad. I decided just to go back, castle. I'm still better because I have the bishop there, because it's like somewhat open position, so it's not really bad for white. I decided to castle. He planted the knight there, and I really did not like the fact that he's gonna go here. He's gonna maybe put the knight there or there, adding more pressure, and I just didn't like the idea of moving my queen. So I just decided to go queen, bishop takes c5, queen takes, and moving the queen back here, adding some trouble. He defended with the pawn. I went there, preparing this because on this side there's nothing to be done. Okay, if I try to attack, I'm going to open up the position against myself. No, I cannot even play this because the queen is actually pinning me. So this is why I decided to expand on this side. He went here, I attacked the queen and he takes, I take with the rook, and everything seems fine. Here I did not have anything to do, so I just played king to h1, just moving away. He went here with the queen attacking my rook. I went there, adding some trouble on that pawn, also defending my pawn, defending my rook. He went here, threatening checkmate. Now we cannot play g3 because he can just go bishop takes. So the best move is to go g4. You cannot take because of the bishop, and now you cannot checkmate me because there's the rook defending. He went here attacking my rook. I went there, and he went for a rook trade. I don't know why, so I decided, you know what? It is simple because I can play queen to e4. Queen to e4 attacks the bishop and also not allow the opponent to play rook to e8. So I'm controlling the open file, which is really nice. He went back with the bishop, and I decided to go here. Now my idea after this move is to push this. Because if you take, I take, and I want to push. And when you take, I'm going to keep pushing, and I'm going to support the push of this pawn and cause some trouble. He decided to play this, and I decided to push. My idea here was very simple. I know that might seem like a free pawn, but hear me out. My idea was after takes, rook takes, queen check. Okay, if you block with the bishop, that's going to be check. Here, check, mate. But if you take, and rook takes, and check, you move the king here, I give you another check, and the rook goes there, I can take the rook. What I missed, the queen is actually defending. But even though it was good because the king cannot move, and the rook cannot move, and the queen cannot move because everything is protecting each other. Therefore, I had much mobility in this position. And he decided to go for the second option. He decided not to lose the game, and he went here. The rook cannot really move, neither do the queen, neither the king. So he is paralyzed right now. So even though he's up a pawn, it's not really much of a great pawn, But he went bishop to g5. His idea is simple. I want to move my king to safety. Now I want to move my rook and do some stuff. I move my king out of fear. I did not have anything. If I move the bishop, I just lose this pawn. If I move these, I'm overcommitting my pawns. So he went there. I take, and decided to give him a check. He blocks with the bishop, and I went here, attacking this weak pawn. He decided to push it all the way there, which is not good because if takes, queen takes, you're losing a pawn. You cannot give me any check. After I take, and he went bishop to f4. Bishop to f4, threatening check here, some checks, or losing, winning the pawn. So I decided to go queen to h3, pinning the queen to the king, and he takes this pawn. And I decided to play this, b5, he went there with the king, and I moved here. Sorry, I just didn't want him to move any piece. He went there, I decided to go back, and he did this outrageous move, a5. a5, I don't know if my opponent knows about en passant or in passing, but even though I managed to take the pawn with en passant, I'm not winning the game. You know why? Because he has bishop to b8. Bishop to e8, it's really committal. Maybe the bishop and the pawn can hold these two, maybe, I don't know. But maybe there's potential for the king to sneak in and attack the bishop, maybe. But he did not play it. Instead, he played h4. h4, now you don't have this ability to do this, and I just went a7, give me a check, I take, and I made the queen, he blundered that. And here, decided to give him a check, and now this is just checkmate. The king cannot really move anywhere. And this game was, I guess, the 1923. I reached my highest rating of 1816.